Everyone, Frank Bree here. Just going live today to talk a little bit about sales and marketing lessons. And one thing that I learned today that I wanted to share with you. So and I posted this on my personal profile page a little bit, but I figured I'd tell the story. So I got a message. So obviously do some outreach on LinkedIn. But in this particular case, I actually got a connection request from someone on LinkedIn. So I accepted. It looked like they were kind of in the space. So I usually don't, when I get an inbound connection request, I usually don't immediately send out a message because I don't like the typical LinkedIn thing where, you get a connection request and you immediately are like, hey, I just want to let you know all about me and here's my schedule link, so I can sell you stuff. Obviously, that's not an effective way to market on LinkedIn. There are other ways to do that. There's other ways to start conversations. There's other ways to get advice and guidance on LinkedIn. But in any case, one of the things that I like to do is, because a lot of people ask me on LinkedIn, what can I do for you? What do you need? And sometimes that's just a veiled attempt at a sales conversation. And so what I typically do is I give people an answer to the question. I tell them, who I am and what I do, and that PR is important to me. And so what a typical innocuous, easy thing for me to do is to ask, hey, I'm trying to get on podcast interviews. Do you have a couple of suggestions on podcasts I should consider? It seems like a pretty friendly, easy way to get a conversation started with someone. And it kind of deflects hey, I want to get on a sales call with you, or them trying to get on a sales call with me. It seems to be first of all, it's valuable information for me, and it seems to be a pretty easy thing to do. Anyway, so in one case, so I got an inbound LinkedIn request from someone, accepted the connection request, and then didn't have a message at all. And they came to me and they said, hey, thanks for connecting. What's going on in your world? So I give them my standard answer, which is, this is who I am and what I do. And by the way, I'm trying to get some PR. So if you happen to know of any podcasts I should take a look at, let me know. His response back to that was to get pissed off at me for asking a favor before getting to know him. So I know that we have this permission-based marketing thing going on, but this was taking that a little too far. This was like getting ticked off about being asked about podcasts. So, I went ahead and said, all right, so I think asking your opinion on podcasts is a pretty low threshold thing to ask about, but I'll bite. What were you expecting from me when you asked what's going on in my world? And he came back and said, to start a conversation rather than ask something from a stranger. And then I realized I basically just said gotcha and moved on from that part of the conversation. It was clearly not a conversation I was going to have. But the lesson here, I think, is pretty critical, which is, not everybody is going to react rationally to your sales and marketing efforts. And I think sometimes we worry that, when we put something out there, we put a marketing message or a sales message out there, that someone's going to get ticked off. And, we don't want to tick anybody off. We don't want to get anyone angry with us. The fact of the matter is, the world's a pretty big place, and people have their own emotional baggage that they're bringing into their interactions with you. And sometimes people are going to get pissed off for no good reason. So no matter what you do, you're going to piss somebody off eventually, because there are people in this world who are just trying to get pissed off. They're like wired to be pissed off. Clearly this gentleman who sent me a message was kind of looking for a fight, because he asked what's going on in my world. I have no idea who this guy is. It's not like I'm going to have an open conversation with him about the things that are going on in my life. So clearly I'm going to say something about business, and then he gets pissed off about it. So I'm just saying that there are people who are kind of wired to be angry and upset. And if you dial down your marketing energies to basically not piss anybody off, you're not going to talk to anybody. there's you'll be dialed so far down that you're never going to make any progress with anybody. So the lesson here is you have to make a choice about what sounds ethical and honest and forthright and not slimy and scummy from you. And then just go do it, and there are going to be people who are pissed and you just block their connection or you ignore them or you move on or whatever. But don't worry about it and don't let them stop you from getting your message out there, because there are going to be other people who are in fact really, really pleased that you reached out to them and that you have something intelligent to say about the problem that they're facing that very day. So don't let yourself get blindsided by people who are trying to pick a fight, because there are crazy people out there. There's cuckoos. That's just the way it goes. So my message and my experience from this LinkedIn interaction is that, do what you're doing, do it well, do it ethically, and don't get sidetracked by crazy talk, and understand what's right and what's wrong in marketing ethics, and do the best you can. But you got to get your message out there and you got to sell. And sometimes it's going to piss people off and there's just nothing you can do about it. So don't let it stop you. Go out there, do your thing. So that's what I want to encourage you to do, to keep talking, keep marketing, keep selling, keep putting your message out there, and keep talking about your high ticket program. All right. That was it. That was what I want to share with you today. I will have a great weekend, and we'll see you again on Memorial Day. Probably I won't be going live. There's probably a lot of stuff going on. I actually will have a podcast interview with Daniel DiPiazza on Monday, which I'll share with you after that's all done. But have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.